Hello, I'm Zoe, age 10, and I live in Argentina, she says using International Sign Language. Zoe is also an avid reader of the now prize-winning video books produced here. Traditional favourites like Sleeping Beauty and Little Red Riding Hood, and a selection of other visually stimulating titles. The project was started in 2011 by the Canales Civil Association with the collaboration of Argentina's deaf community and funding from the Inter-American Development Bank. They had several challenges to consider and overcome.
La lengua de señas es una lengua visual.
Signing is a visual language and has different characteristics from written Spanish. It's a complete and complicated language. You can say everything in sign language and tell all stories, but first we must do the work of interpreting from one language to the other.
They use text, pictures, spoken and sign language, which enable deaf children to enjoy alone or with their friends and family stories that previously they might not have had access to. Stories the rest of us take for granted. What the video books do is allow access to deaf children to a world previously denied them, a world of storytelling enjoyed by generations of hearing children, but on their own terms and meeting their own special requirements. There are an estimated 1 million deaf and hearing impaired people in Argentina who often feel they're excluded in many ways from the rest of society.
It's hard for me sometimes to understand the text, but sign language makes it easier for me to get excited about the story.
Julia says being deaf should not hinder her storytelling, nor any child's enjoyment of a well-told, intriguing tale.
Many deaf children don't have sign language at home with their families, so they don't see sign language stories or learn to read and write from an early age. It's essential they have a deaf adult as a role model, so they can identify with linguistic models and at the same time be exposed to stories in an accessible language.
Every spoken language has its own sign language, but the storytellers at Canales are hoping that their model can be adopted and adapted around the world so that all deaf children can have access to stories. Their joy at winning the prize needs no verbal translation. Daniel Schweimler, Jazeera, Buenos Aires.